Now we have started first day in Singapore. We are in the bus for city tour. गरम ना
Okay, everybody. So once we finish with the Singapore flyer, once we complete with that already, you can come back to this bus again, and then I will bring you to the next stop, and that is going to be at the Merlion Park. Now, have you all seen the Merlion in pictures? It has a head of the lion and the body of a fish. Am I right? So your visit to Singapore is not complete if you don't take a picture of the Merlion. Okay, so that's our tourism icon. Now we are going to stop there also. So you can take pictures, you can walk around that area, or the other thing you can do is that you can actually go for this Chinese bum boat ride. Okay, now this is a beautiful ride. It will bring you up and down the Singapore River. It's only 25 Singapore dollars for 40 minutes, and it's really worth the money. Now this is really very nice. People who have been on this, they all loved it. So they come back, they say it's very nice. Okay. Now this is where along the river a lot of history of Singapore has happened. A lot of Bollywood movies were shot along the river. Okay, so this is my personal favorite. So this is like really nice. You can have a clear view of the city. Okay, all right. Now once we finish with that place, now from there we're going to come back to the bus again, and then we're going to drive through Orchard Road. Chinatown. We're going to drive through Chinatown. You can see some temples along the way. And we're going to stop over at a chocolate shop after that, okay? Now, the chocolate shop is a mandatory stop for all city tours. We will be stopping there. For those of you who want to shop for chocolates or souvenirs, you can actually get some from there, okay? Now, once we finish with that, today there are many of you going to Sentosa. Am I right? Okay, I'm going to read out your names. Satinder Pal, together with Rudrani. We also have Santosh, together with Pinaki, Natasha, together with Harish Kumar. Okay, so you guys all have Sentosa today. Okay, do you all have your Sentosa tickets with you now? You have your Sentosa tickets? Yes, okay. Now please check whether you have all your Sentosa tickets. Anything missing, let me know earlier. Okay? I will make arrangements for you all. Okay? Yes. Okay? So just if anything missing, let me know. I will make arrangements. Don't tell me last minute that I cannot help you. Okay? Alright, so this is what's going to happen today. For those of you going to Sentosa, from the chocolate shop, come back to this bus. I will send you there. The rest of you, don't worry. There is a separate Great Apple van that brings you back to your hotel. Okay? So not to worry. Alright, so I'm going to start talking to you about Singapore right now. Now, Singapore, as you know, is not a big country. It's a very small island. It's very, very small. Okay? It's just a dot in a world map. Okay? Now, west to the east of Singapore is 46 kilometers. North to the south is 26 kilometers only, okay? And in this small country, we have a population of about 5.6 million people. And out of this 5.6 million, about 1 million people here are not even Singaporeans. They are foreign people who are living together with us. Now, we do have a lot of people from around the world, around Asia, who are working and living with us here in Singapore. Many of them are also from India, who are working as IT professionals in banking fields and all that. Okay? So some of you might wonder, then, who are the Singaporeans? How do they look like? Okay? Now, Singapore is actually a very multiracial country. We have four main races here. Number one, Chinese. You can see them everywhere. The Chinese, they make up the majority. 76% are Chinese, okay? Now we also have 14% of Malay people, 1/4. Now Malay people, even though they are 14%, they are the original people of this country, okay? Now we also have 8% of Indians, like myself. My ancestors, they are all from India. My grandparents, they were born here, okay? So we already have about 5 generations of Chinese and Indians here in Singapore. And of course, the fourth race are the minorities. A lot of mixture of a lot of other small races, like Eurasians, Peranakans, Jews, Parsis, and all that. Okay. So these are all the Singaporeans who are born and raised here. Okay. Now, many of us here in Singapore, we have not been to where our ancestors are from. Okay, but we still speak, read, and write our mother tongue. Okay. Now here in Singapore, they've actually made it a point that all of us have to learn our second language. Okay. So on top of English, the Mandarin will be taken by the Chinese, Malay language will be taken by the Malay people, and Tamil language will be taken up by the Indians. Okay. Now, if you take a look at your Singapore dollar note or the Singapore coin, you can see all the 4 languages are there. Okay. Okay, everybody, now wherever you go here in Singapore, you can see a lot of trees. Have you noticed that? Now, without this tree, Singapore will look very great, just buildings, okay? So to cover that all up, we need lots and lots of trees here. And this is why, in Singapore, we have this tree planting day, which has been going on for the past 57 years already, okay? And even before Singapore gained independence, we already have this tree planting day. And what happens on this day is that we plant about 100 trees and plants all around the island. Now this is all, to make Singapore look like a very clean and green garden city. And Singapore actually looks more like a city built in a garden. Alright. Now look at the weather in Singapore today. It's very lovely. Okay, it's not raining, so that's a good thing. Okay. Now the weather in Singapore, it's suddenly changes. Suddenly it will rain. Suddenly it will be sunny. Okay. Now here we have no 4 seasons. Only 2: rainfall, sunshine, and it's all year round. Okay. Okay, everybody, so here we are at Orchard Road, and this is where from now on, wherever you turn, you can see shopping malls, and shopping malls everywhere, okay? Because Singaporeans will love to shop. That's our favorite pastime, all right? And this is the main shopping district. Now, for a small country of Singapore, we have over 250 shopping malls and counting. There's a lot of shopping malls, okay? But of course, this is the main stretch. And we have shopping malls not only here, but in each and every residential area in Singapore has about 1 or 2 shopping malls. Okay? Because Singaporeans will love to shop, right? And you can see the shopping malls are all still closed right now because it's still early, okay? The shopping malls will only open from 11 o'clock onwards to 9:30 in the evening. Nobody shops in the morning here, only from 11 o'clock onwards, okay? Now, this is going to be a busy weekend, just to let you know, all right? Tomorrow is Vesak Day, and it's a public holiday in Singapore. If a public holiday falls on a Sunday, the following Monday is a open lieu, okay? So it's a holiday also, all right? So it's a long weekend in Singapore. So everywhere is going to be busy, so be ready for that, okay?
टाइममा आएछ बिजी टाइममा आएछ हुल हुन्छ क्या अब ओ हेर्नु त्यहाँ गाडी हेर्न
And if you want to take a look on your left here, well, you can see this huge white gate of the Istana. Istana means palace. You can see the guards and the policemen outside. Now, the current president of Singapore is Madam Halima Yaakob. She's our Singapore's first female president. And she is a Malay Muslim. Now, before her was a Chinese man, Dr. Tony Tan. Before him was an Indian man, Mr. S.R. Nathan. Now, here in Singapore, all the races have to take turns to represent the higher seat of the country. Okay? Even in the parliament, according to the number of seats, there has to be Chinese, Malay, and Indian ministers in equal amount. All right? Now, this is to be fair to everybody. Okay? All right, now take a look in front of you. Can all of you see this gantry here? ERP. Can you see that? Now, ERP, it stands for Electronic Road Pricing. Okay? Now, here in Singapore, all vehicles, you know, in some countries they have gantries with people inside collecting toll money. Here we don't have that. It's electronic. Okay? Now, every vehicle in Singapore, even this bus, has a machine there, a brown or a gray machine, and they have a card. They will insert the card inside the machine and they will leave it there. And each time a vehicle drives under the gantry, a certain amount of money will be automatically deducted from the cart. So this is like, you know, one of the effective ways to control the traffic, only during the peak hours. Okay? All right? What happens if they have no card or there's no money in the cart and if they drive under? There are cameras there. It will immediately capture the license plate number and then a few days later it will be given a love letter. Okay? And it's a love letter you don't want to open because the value is going to be about 3 or 4 times more. Okay, it's a heavy fine. It's a huge fine, okay? All right, and take a look on your right here. You can see this cathedral. This is our Singapore's oldest Catholic church. It's a cathedral of the Good Shepherd.
ওটা আগে চলে গেছে ওটা এখন আসছে না এখন অটোমেটিক বেশ হয়ে গেছে
আগে কেন হতো তো কাজ বের করছে না হ্যাঁ কাজ বের করছে
Okay guys, and as we move further up here, you can see a very important monument coming up on your right. Now that is the Civilian War Memorial. Was built in memory of the civilians who were during the Japanese occupation in Singapore. Now it's undergoing some renovation works for now. Now, Singapore, as you know, was a British colony, just like India. Since the 1820s, we were under the British, okay? In the year 1942, that is when the Japanese took over Singapore. Singapore was under the Japanese occupation for 3 years and 8 months. And those were the darkest and the most torturous years of the history of this country, all right? And after the Japanese surrendered to the British, now Singapore merged with Malaya, which is now called Malaysia. And the day we got separated from Malaya was our independence. It was on the 9th of August, 1965. So Singapore is still a very young nation. It's only 54 years old this year, okay? All right, so here we are at Suntec City. Now, the reason why we are here is to show you how this place has been very interestingly designed. Now, Suntec City was designed to look like your left hand. Yes, your left hand. Take a look like this. Put your hands up like that. Take a look at the shortest tower, Tower 5. This represents the thumb. Tower 1, 2, 3, and 4 represents your 4 fingers. Can you see that? And right in the middle of the palm is where you can see this fountain of wealth. This is the world's largest man-made fountain. Was recorded in the Guinness
Wow,
Book
tolo
of
somos,
Records in the year 1998 as the world's largest man-made fountain. Okay? And this was where the famous movie Krish was shot. Do y'all remember Krish? Remember the scene, the fight scene? Hrithik Roshan was up and down this fountain. Okay? Now water is coming inside in this fountain so beautifully. Now water for the Chinese, it means money. Okay? So when the water comes inside, this grabs all the money into Suntec City. Okay? Now why the left hand? Why not the right hand? Because the Chinese people, they give money in the right hand. And they accept money on the left hand. So this is the part that money pours in. This is the auspicious side. So this is why Suntec City has been designed to look like our left hand. Now this is what they call feng shui, Chinese geomancy. Now just like Indians, we have Vastu. We have Vastu, right? Yeah. The Chinese call it feng shui. Okay. And if you want to take a look in front of you here, well, you can see our Singapore flyer, that huge wheel. This is where we're going to stop, everybody. It's 165 meters tall, and that's about 42-story high. And one full round takes about 37 minutes to complete. Now you can also see the capsules there. There are 28 capsules, and they move very slow. You cannot feel it moving at all, all right? It moves so slow. And then before you know, you'll be on top and then you'll slowly come down, okay? Now, so don't worry about heights, don't worry about speed, okay? It's very, very slow. Now, Singapore is an expensive country, yes, but do less shopping here. But go for the attractions, okay? Because it's worth the money. You don't know when you're going to be back here again, so experience it, go back, share with your families and friends, okay? This is my personal advice to you all, right? Do less shopping, go for the attractions. Now you may want to take a look in front here. You'll be able to see our Singapore's big building for the F1 car race. You know the Formula 1 car? That race will be held in Singapore every year in September. This year is our 11th year hosting this event, okay? And you know where's the track? You're on the track. They use the normal streets for the race, okay? 61 laps on the normal streets, alright? Of course, for the 3 days, we are not allowed here, and the whole street circuit will be completely transformed. Okay, so this is where we are going to stop right now. This is a stop for the Singapore Flyer. Is there anybody who wants to buy the tickets for the flyer?
It's on here.
Okay, so I'm going to come over to collect the tickets for money right now.
Huh? Okay, gone here. Linus?
Jadi,